كيف ما نعرفش إذا دحنا الأبليكاسيون دي ما نعرفش كيفاش نبعثوا لك النتيجة حلتوها لكم. تنهار استنى. أثناء ندخل في التيتر لحظة استنى لحظة دقيقة نحاول ندخل استنى.
Wonderful good morning, Excellency. Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen, Frau Botschafterin. Entschuldigen Sie, Sie müssen nur das Mic aktivieren bei sich, dann können wir Sie hören. Immer noch nicht, leider.
Können Sie mich hören? Can you hear me?
Who is speaking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is Harald Bleier.
Ah, Herr Bleier. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you very clearly.
Okay, super. Because a couple of seconds before I could nobody hear, so I was a little bit confusing. But now it is everything is okay. Okay.
No, it's working perfectly.
No, thank you very much. It's perfect. So, Frau Botschafterin, wenn Sie vielleicht ein bisschen reden können, so dass wir prüfen, ob das Mic funktioniert. Jetzt, glaube ich, beginnt es.
Hören Sie mich noch immer nicht?
Ja, jetzt hören wir Sie.
Okay.
Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Wonderful good morning with the very nice ornamentic behind you.
Yeah, I tried hard. I tried hard. And it's pretty hot here.
Ja, guten Morgen, Frau
But I
Botschafter.
think it's the same in Vienna.
Good morning, Ambassador. Good morning, Ambassador.
Good morning. Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Please try, but we see each other in 2 weeks' time. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
The Sidi Boussaid style window is very wonderful.
Yeah, I have to be at home today, so I was thinking a lot what I put behind the screen.
Okay. With us also is His Excellency Mohammed Samir Qub'a. You know, he's Tunisian, of course, but now representing the Arab League. And also we have good participation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you allow me to start, and please switch off your may I ask who is now sharing his PowerPoint presentation? I'm sorry, could you please? So now, a wonderful good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sabah al-khair, assalamu alaikum, ein wunderschönen guten Morgen. It is my honor and privilege to welcome all of you to this forum And we will talk today about Tunisia and Austria promoting business and investment cooperation in high value activities in the electrical, electronic, and IT sector. And I'm proud because this topic is my education. I'm educated informatic at the Technical University of Vienna. And this is my my education and goes back 100 years before. And therefore, I'm very proud to have this session today with you. Allow me to thank the Tunisian Embassy to Austria, His Excellency Mohammed Mizghani and his team for preparation of this forum. Allow me also to thank and welcome also Her Excellency Ulla Kraus-Nussbaumer, Austrian Ambassador to Tunisia. Also a warm welcome to Mr. Franz Bachleitner, who is the Commercial Counselor to many countries in the Maghreb area, but especially for Tunisia, responsible for Tunisia. Also welcome Mr. Sami Ghazali, Head of Digital Economy Unit, Tunisian Ministry of Communication, Technology and Digital Economy. Then Mr. Qais Selami, President of Tunisian Digital Federation, Tunisian Confederation of Industry, Trade and Handicraft. Also welcome, but I think later on, Mr. Mohammed bin Hussein, CEO of Tunisia Export, CEPIX. We've just received input from him that he will join us later. Also welcome to Mrs. Saida Kahouli from Germany, is Managing Director, Invest in Tunisia Agency, the FIPA Tunisia, the Germany office. Also welcome Mrs. Nada Lakhal Tayyib, Director of Industry and Technological Infrastructure, Tunisian Ministry of Industry, and Mr. Muntasir Abdrabbo, Financial Director, Representative of Elentica Electronic Cluster. And finally, I would like to welcome one of the last speakers who will give us a testimonial about Tunisia, Engineer Harald Bleyer. And of course, welcome to all our audience today and participants. Ladies and gentlemen, Tunisia and Tunis, Carthage and other names has a very long history. It goes back 100,000 years, but I don't want to go to that level of history. Just going back to 800 before Christ, which is the foundation of the city Carthage by people coming from Tyrus, Phoenician, and Carthage became a very powerful metropole and part of the Phoenician network. Carthage was also a center of trade. Phoenician, just for your information, also I'm coming from a part of the Phoenician world, which is Syria, Lebanon, and other region as well, were the best trader at that time. And they brought Carthage at that time to highlights and it became more and more powerful, so that Hannibal tried to invade Italy at that time, 200 before Christ. Let's make a jump till 670, where the Umayyad take power in Tunisia and founded the city of Carthage. And some years after that, they founded a very unique and one of the first university worldwide, which is Al Zaytuna University. One prominent personalities is Ibn Khaldun with his introduction, one of the first social scientist worldwide, and he has Al-Muqaddimah, which is one of the largest and still very valid social work that we have in the world. And also Tahir bin Ashur, which is a very famous scholar in the Islamic world. But we are not talking about the history, we are talking about the presence. And ladies and gentlemen, just few days before, weeks, it was 31st of May, we have had in Austria, in Vienna, a forum about cybersecurity, where we have 17 delegations from Arab countries. We have presentation by representatives of the Chancellery in Austria, Ministry for Defense, Ministry of Interior, and the digitization department of the Finance Ministry, and some companies working for the cybersecurity, IT and the ICT. And they were all of them in need of personals. And this was a red line through all ministries and through all talking and presentation. And if we see on the other side what Tunisia can offer, Tunisia is the second largest have the second largest number of graduated in science and engineering worldwide. So it is amazing. We have a pool of 65,000 new graduates per year. It is amazing what we have there, and the third most innovative economy in Africa, and also a door and gate to the African markets. Let's talk about this. I talk a lot. I'm sorry for that, but allow me to hand over to His Excellency Mohammed Mizghani, the shining light of Tunisia in Austria, our good friend. Let me hand over to him. The floor is your Excellency.
Thank you very much, dear Mudar. Good morning, everybody. Sabah al-khair. جميعا. Bonjour. Dear Ola Cross, Excellency, Ambassador of Austria to Tunisia, dear Ambassador Samir Koba, dear Mudar Khouja, Secretary General of Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce, dear colleagues and friends. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you and thank you for being with us this morning. I would like to express my warm thanks, in particular to the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce and to the Tunisian Foreign Investment Promotion Agency for their important and valuable collaboration to organize today's event. I would like also to thank Her Excellency, Madame Ola Cross, Ambassador of Austria to Tunisia, for accepting our invitation and for the remarks that she will provide, as well as our speakers and guests. Excellencies, dear friends, it goes without saying that the political relations between the two countries are excellent. Austria has been among the first European partners to give its political support to the democratic transition in Tunisia. Austria is a reliable partner and supporter for a more comprehensive and co-profitable cooperation, both on bilateral level and within Tunisian EU partnership. There is a shared political will to induce new dynamics, to involve private and public sectors, and to identify investment and business doing opportunities from both countries. Major Austrian companies are active in Tunisia, but still the number of investing companies is low comparing to the promising and diverse sectors of potential cooperation. I do believe that we, Austrians and Tunisians, have to further explore the potential of our win-win cooperation and focus on high added value, like the sectors subjects of our meeting today, but also others, such as renewable energies, green industry, organic agriculture, and waste management. I am sure that today's meeting will offer the opportunity to all participants to learn from each other and give more insights about relevant business opportunities in Tunisia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency, for the welcoming address of welcoming. Allow me to present Her Excellency Ulla Kraus-Nussbaumer, the shining face of Austria to Tunisia, and very active person. And that's what we have witnessed, and also very supportive to the commercial engagement of Austrian companies in Tunisia and vice versa. So allow me to give you the floor, Excellency, and the floor is yours. So I think you have to turn on
The micro.
the micro, please. Yes.
Does it work now?
Yes.
The technique. Thank you very much for this very lovely introduction, which I don't merit. Everybody here in Tunisia is trying to do its best to enhance Austria, or to further enhance, better to say, Austro-Tunisian relations. I very much would to thank you as organizers of today's event. I think it's extremely important to bring people together and to broaden and to deepen the common knowledge. I thank you very much as well to have me with you virtually, but nevertheless. And thank you for hosting this whole event and going to all these troubles. You see the closeness between Austria and Tunisia with the temperatures, because today we have exactly the same temperatures in Vienna and in Tunis. So the closeness is not only by heart. I very much welcome, I must say, the interest you want to create in Tunisian economy and in the common interest, economically interest between Tunisia and Austria. Our two countries are so close, much closer than most people actually are aware of. It's even not 2 hours flight if you have a direct flight, and we just have one country in between us, and that's Italy. So Austria and Tunisia are actually very, very close countries mentally and also geographically. And as I like to say to my Tunisian friends, is actually we share a lot of savoir-vivre together as well. We are not very big countries. We love good wine. We love good food. So we have really a lot to share on a human level. So let's explore it on a economic and business level as well. As already 50 Austrian enterprises are active in Tunisia, which is not a lot, but some of them are very, very big leaders, like the ÖMV since many years, or Gisagwa, who is active in water purification services. And I hope very much that today's event will be an incentive to many get to know Tunisia better and to have an idea about Tunisia and all the benefits it would offer for a closer cooperation. As Ambassador Mescani already mentioned, I only can repeat what he said. There are enormous potentials for investors and investments. You have a very well-educated youth who is specifically well-educated in sciences and maths. So specifically what you need for IT and for the modern world. You have a lot of startups. You have a very lively startup scene in Tunisia, going up and thriving. And as Ambassador Meskani already said, it's not only the IT sector which is interested. It's in the view of the actual crisis, evidently the energy sector. So renewable energy, green energy is an immense topic where Tunisia would be a wonderful partner. And there are already some firms who are investigated and trying to get in contact, but as well, transport, IT, and as Ambassador Meskani mentioned it, waste management. Whoever of you listening is interested in waste management, Tunisia would be the place to go for you. I think both sides could profit very much. Nevertheless, there's nothing like only sunshine. So also in Tunisia, you have to be aware of some setbacks. And if you are following comments from the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank, you know that there are still need of reforms, that administration sometimes is kind of slow, and that the reform of the public sector is needed. But Prime Minister Buden mentioned and presented already some reforms. So reforms are on the way. And the EU at the moment is 85% of the foreign investment goes back to European Union investors. It would be wonderful if the share of the Austrian investors within this 85% would grow. As the ambassador said, it's a win-win situation for both sides, so let's enhance them. Whatever the Austrian embassy here in Tunis can do to help, to make life easier, to introduce you to new people, to get in contact, just let us know. We're a very small team, but with the help of Mr. Bachleitner, we will manage to do that. It would be our joy, and I'm very much hoping that we can create some new opportunities for our common interests in the future, in the near future. And I just wish you a very interesting seminar, and I hope to see many of you in Tunisia soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your kind words and introduction and welcoming remarks. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to indicate that Austria is the exporter country number 14 when it's come to the export out of Tunisia to the world. If we go back to 2019 with 114 million of euros, which is remarkable. And also I would like to indicate that the European Investment Bank is still have the intention to invest and to give the money to Tunisia, which is also an indicative thing. So then allow me to jump to our next speaker, Mr. Franz Bachleitner, the Commercial Counselor and the Austrian Federal Chamber of Commerce is doing a great job, not only in the Maghreb, but all over the world with 116 offices. And Franz is heading a very large area, which is, you know, not only Tunisia, but Algeria and Morocco and Mauritania. Is that correct? Yeah, but he will tell us a lot about that. And yesterday he has some reports to say to us about the interest of Austrian companies to invest in Tunisia. Franz, the floor is yours, and we are exchanging our places just to have him in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, Franz. Yeah.
So, Mr. Secretary General, thank you so much for these nice words of introduction. Your Excellencies, Klaus Nussbaumer, our ambassador in Tunis, and our ambassador of Tunisia here in Vienna. I also would like to address a warm welcome to Sami Ben Ayed, my colleague in Tunis, who is doing an excellent job for us, for the Austrian business community. And also thanks to Harald Bleier. He has just recently been in Tunis and he comes from EcoPlus, and we joined each other there and we had an excellent reception organized by our ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just a friendly gesture, but the Austrian business community really is interested in doing business in Northern Africa and also in Tunisia. I have been just last week in the southern part of Austria. I've been to Carinthia, I've been to Graz and also to Mödling. And we had also talks to the Carinthian cluster of software in Kärnten. And I think they are also joining this webinar, and thank you for participating, for helping us to promote this seminar also among their members. You know, the world has changed from the 24th of February onwards. We have a war very close to the Austrian border, and this makes and creates a different framework for Austrian investors that have invested heavily in Central and Eastern Europe, in the Ukraine, but also in Russia. And it is a pity that at the moment these routes are interrupted. But it offers an opportunity for Northern Africa. And I would say this is an excellent hub, which is just 2 hours flight away in the same time zone with a youth that is really willing to work and give its best. And we have seen that in our dialogues when we were in Sousse, when we were in other cities of Tunisia, and we met Tunisian business partners. They all are keen and interested to do business with Austrians. And the same is the case for big Austrian investors, and the avalanche is growing, I would say, in the positive sense that we have big investors as OMV that is already there from 74 onwards, is the biggest European investor in Tunisia with more than €1 billion invested. But we have also early starts with the Vorarlberg textile industry. There are at least 3-4 companies that have hundreds and hundreds of employees. And last year, they exported to Austria for a value of around 50 million euros. But you mentioned also this morning the electric and electronic sector, which also exported for nearly 48 million last year to Austria. And this is especially the European automotive sector, which is using Tunisia already as an industrial hub, as an industrial platform to have things done. And I learned from Drechselmeier, which is a strong German group with a strong arm in Upper Austria, in Ried. And they are doing cable trees for cars in Tunisia. They have now more than 5,500 employees, imagine. And they are profiting of this war in the Ukraine because they also had workshops in the Ukraine, and now part of this work is loaded over and passed over to Tunisia, and they are happy that the Tunisians can supply in time and help them to get the cars ready, you know, because we have this problem now with this supply chain economy, which no longer is working as it used to work, because China also is in trouble. Chinese ports are overcrowded. They have the lockdowns, and so on. So this will take a lot of time. And transport costs have risen tremendously. But a ferry takes 1 day, 1 night to cross the channel between Italy and Tunis. And this is also a big advantage. And I think Austrian business people have also to look further into that. What we also need, and here the Tunisian government is asked to create a framework of stability, of political, financial, and economic stability, because investors need such an environment to go for new markets. And here I think we hope that also the International Monetary Fund and the Tunisian government will find a solution for the next funding needs that are necessary. For the time being, I think I come to an end. It's an interesting time to be present in Northern Africa, not just in Tunisia, but also Algeria is an interesting market. They will come up with new regulations ahead of the summer for investors. And I think also Morocco and Egypt are very interesting places. And we'll see what happens in Libya. I think also this development is important for Tunisia because they are just neighbors, and tremendous opportunities of rebuilding Libya could also arise. And here we can do projects also together. Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Secretary General, my dear audience, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Franz, for this wonderful and very outreaching presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to have His Excellency Samir Qub'a, because he raised hand before. Sorry, I didn't got you, Your Excellency, before. Do you want to have some input? The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. It's not really an input, it's just a very short thanks for inviting me to join this important event. Of course, as a Tunisian first, and also as ambassador of the Arab League, which is a close partner to the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce. We are talking about two countries which I love very much. My country of origin and Austria, where I'm living for almost 8 years. I've been involved in one way or another on bilateral cooperation, and I'm convinced that there is a lot of potential. We are talking maybe about around 50 firms, enterprise. There can be possibility of making it much, much more. As Ambassador Ola mentioned it, and His Excellency Ambassador Nesgani, of course, there is always some difficulties in getting together the investors and in the field. But I'm sure that there are a lot of possibilities, and I'm hoping that in the next future, cooperation will be, at least trade cooperation will be strengthening to be at the level of the historic, traditional, political and very close cooperation between our two countries, who are very similar, small countries, but very active, like living, the way of life, and so many other things. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I would like to welcome all the participants, which most of them I know, and I'm very honored to see them again. And again, thank you very much to Ulla and to Si Mohammed for participating and for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for the nice words. And allow me now to jump over to our first speaker from the Tunisian side, aside their excellencies, the ambassadors. And allow me to ask head of digital economic unit of the Tunisian Ministry of Communication Technology and Digital Economy, Mr. Sami Ghazali, to present, to give us his presentation and his view to things. Mr. Sami, you are very much welcome. Regards to our nice beloved country, Tunisia, and to your ministry. Mr. Ghazali, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I would like, first of all, to thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure for me and an honor to participate today in the virtual economic forum, Tunisian and Austrian. I would like to speak about the vision and access of the national digital strategy of Tunisia in digital. Tunisia's digital ambition will be driven by a set of strategic development axes, making it possible to achieve a set of objectives in terms of investment, jobs, and technological positioning, and aimed at improving digital inclusion as well as Tunisia's ranking in the Global Innovation Index by 2025. The main vision is digital technology at the heart of the country's economic and social development. The digital Tunisian strategy revolves around a set of priorities areas. First, the digital and financial inclusion by providing access to broadband connection and combating digital illiteracy, as well as access to digital financial services. Tunisia Land of Digital by developing an ecosystem of startups and innovation and attract local and foreign investment. Also digitalization of the administration. Technological advances by defining a positioning strategy for Tunisia on disruptive and or emerging technologies, and as acts an adaptation of a training and employment policy to the needs of the sector, and also implementation and the deployment of a cybersecurity and data protection strategy. Let's focus on the digital and financial inclusion axis. By 2025, citizens, businesses will have access to quality digital and financial services throughout Tunisia. Digital and financial inclusion aims to improve the well-being of citizens through the provision of the means necessary for access to digital and financial services. The facilitation of digital accessibility as well as implementation of adapted financial services constitutes the base of 2025 inclusion vision. Let's now focus on the Tunisian Land of Digital. The vision is to make Tunisia a regional digital platform and a destination for investment and ICT development. Tunisia Digital Land represents a vector aiming to position the country internationally as an attractive destination for innovation. The deployment of country branding policy combined by an effort to revitalize the Tunisian ecosystem in the cornerstone of 2025 vision. Let's now focus on digitalization of administration access. Digital level for an inclusive public administration centered on the needs of users and an essential catalyst for the renovation of the state apparatus, integrating the principles of good governance. The digitalization of administration is the axis aimed at strengthening governance and transparency for a better quality of service and greater alignment with needs. The philosophy of this axis is based on the positioning of the user at the center in all public reform initiatives or projects. Let's now focus on technological advanced access. Tunisia will become, through this access, a main player in the field of artificial intelligence, data, and cybersecurity, which will be deployed in a selection of priority sectors. The main mission of this access is to support the technological ambition of the country and to develop a rich, innovative, and evolving ecosystem. The technological advance will play the role of pillar ensuring the achievement of technological ambition and the alignment of the country's orientation with international trends. Let's now focus on the cybersecurity access. We would like to develop a dense and rich ecosystem and will become a regional cybersecurity hub. This access aims to change the pragmatism by giving cybersecurity a preponderant role in the creation of wealth and economic value. The development of cybersecurity goes through the revitalization of ecosystem in the first place, then the affirmation of a significant regional positioning. Let us move to and focus to the employment and training access. The vision is that Tunisia will be a platform of talents and jobs in the digital economy. This access aims to make Tunisia a platform for talent and jobs in the digital field. The achievement of this ambition will be driven by an effort to bring the academic sphere closer to the professional world and work to strengthen the attractiveness of jobs in the Tunisian digital sector. Now I would like to focus on some information to introduce the Tunisian ICT ecosystem. I will start by some figures. We have close to 10,000 ICT new graduates per year, engineers and technicians and software developers. I would like to available ICT infra. We have potential of available ICT infra, private and public modern data centers. We have two of them are tier compliant. Highly available internet connectivity through multiple submarine cables and optical fiber networks and modern mobile networks with 3 telcos, Tunisia Telecom, Orange, and Ooredoo, mature level of competition. Let's move to the main pillar of the digital transformation strategy is to creating an ecosystem favorable to startups, innovative SMEs, as well as international companies. Will benefit from incentives from this program and make use of a highly available talent pool. Let's move to Startup Act 2.0. As you know that more than 700 startups already received the label, access to financial support and risk management funds, incubators and accelerators ecosystem support. By this program, we have the next level program. Let's move now to the 700 labeled startups as 15% specialized in marketplace technologies, 8% specialized in creative industries, around 40% in agri-tech and fintech and edutech and artificial intelligence and blockchain technology special. Other measures of the benefit of label startups is to creating a startup village and public cyber parks, adapting the public procurement laws to dedicate certain projects to label startups in new trends such as blockchain, cloud, 5G, etc. Let's move to the training and capacity building. Many initiatives to reconvert graduates towards new technology-based jobs as well as the several training programs to bridge the skills gap needed for the modern companies. About foreign investment, Smart Tunisia 2.0 program is being restructured. The work is led by Pricewaterhouse. The focus is on talent and training to meet standards. Building ICT trust, one of the main pillars of the ICT strategy. National Agency of Cybersecurity is leading a public and private collaborative plan for security and service continuity plans. The National Electronic Certification Agency is ETSI compliant, in charge of digital certification and signatures. In the most work in the legal framework is a new digital law, a cyber crime law based on Budapest Convention adopted by the Gov this week, and the data classification decree, and the personal data privacy protection law based on GDPR. I finished my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ghazali, for these wonderful and amazing numbers you presented today. The ESCWA just launched a report about the region, the Arab region, and indicates that Tunisia has issued the national strategy for artificial intelligence, and it was really a remarkable strategy that a lot of countries could take information out of it. Thank you very much, Mr. Ghazali, for this wonderful presentation, and also again an appeal to all Austrian companies, but other companies worldwide to benefit out of this amazing number of graduated people in the technical engineering and technical sides to take benefit out of it. Allow me to jump to our next speaker, Mr. Qais Salami, President of the Tunisian Digital Federation, the Tunisian Confederation of Industry, Trade and Handicraft, UTICA. So, Mr. Qais, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Excellencies, and so thank you also to be with you in this seminar. Very happy also to speak to Austrian companies and partners. Actually, so we as Federation of Digital Economy in UTICA, so we represent the private sector of digital economy in Tunisia. So mid companies, small and mid companies, big companies, and also startups. So and this is an employer organization where we have two objectives. Is one, first is to of course to defend the interest and the development of our private sector, but also to work on promoting and developing this sector in Tunisia, but also in the international region, Europe, Africa, Middle East, or anywhere in the world. Actually, I would say that if the question is, the question can be, why Tunisia? Why Tunisia for Austrian companies? Either to invest in or to make partnerships with possibly with companies in Tunisia, in digital economy, of course, and I'm speaking for ICT sector. So the two main for me the two main benefits and specificities we have in Tunisia is first the resources, in the ICT resources and skills. And secondly, also is the ICT or digital ecosystem in Tunisia. These two things are very important and are really differentiators if we compare it to other neighbor companies, countries in the region, in North Africa or in the Mediterranean region also. So resources, I think, of course, different things and many things has been already said, important, but I would like also to focus more on that. So ICT resources and graduated persons, young developers and engineers are with a very high level of quality and capacities recognized in the world. Really, it's something now said, something which is known, proved, and it's of course very important for us as Tunisians, but and it has even an impact on us because these resources, these skills are very attracted today by Europe, by France, by Germany, especially by Canada and other countries. So because of or thanks to or because to their high level. And of course, this is due to different things. So the high level of education, I think, in Tunisia, and I will get back to that. And also the Tunisian is in ICT in general is very skilled, and we are still also more and more working on that. So it's very important to Austrian companies to know that. That means that if they invest here or if they make partnership with companies here, they will find the right people to do the right job. And it's not a question of technical skills also. It's also a question of capacity of the Tunisian I don't know, engineer or consultant or either to adapt and to know how to adapt their relation with European countries, or it can be, it's not only for French-speaking countries, really, it's also for Austria or Germany or Switzerland, or so we have real and concrete success stories for that. So companies in Tunisia or English companies, German companies, for example. I don't know about Austrian companies yet, but working with having the skills center in Tunisia and working very smoothly and very agile with that. So this is important. And also for this question of resources, we have a very important, what I can call a reservoir of resources in Tunisia. Mr. Semi spoke about, said 10,000 students graduated each year in ICT. Yes, it's a number, it's an important number regarding the population of Tunisia, which is just for 10 or 11 million. And we have about 200, I think, universities or filière of universities delivering graduated person on ICT. And this is an important reservoir or so source of skills that we use in Tunisia as companies, of course, but as I said, European use it. So, and it can address the needs of Austrian companies to have resources, because I think, and we know today in the digital economy in the world in general, there is a lack of skills, there is a need of skilled resources, and so the solution for Austrian companies can be to invest in Tunisia, to make their own what I call skill center or development center or expertise center using Tunisian resources. And we know all that COVID showed very well that it's not important in ICT, at least it's not important to be in Vienna or in Tunis or in Sfax or in Paris or in Montreal or either. So the most important is to have the right skill, making the right job, and I think we have these right skills today. And we, as I said, we work on it daily, because, for example, as a federation, we initiated a program called the Digital Talent 3 years ago. It was supported by the World Bank and by IFC, and this Digital Talent, with this we made a job framework of jobs and competencies and skills. So it's a framework used today by all universities, public and private, and used by a lot of companies. And it gives for each job in ICT of today and job of digital today, not 5 years ago, because it's changing always. So what are the skills, what are the competencies, the talents and the skills we need, and the diplomas we need, the certifications we need. And so we changed the program of education in high schools according to that framework. So we, since 3 years now, we are delivering. We think we deliver the right persons regarding to the needs of the market. Of course, we did that after making studies on the gaps between the graduated persons and young people delivered, comparing to the need of market, international market and national market. This is just an example, but in this program, there is also an observatory, there is what we call TIC Academy. So a lot of initiatives coming from our federation, but also coming from the government, from a lot of associations. So, and I go to the other point is the second point is the ecosystem, the ICT ecosystem. It's important to know that really in Tunisia, first ICT is a strategic sector considered by all the governments we had since at least now after the revolution, so after 12 years, even before, of course, but we had a lot of governments, but each government is coming, always consider ICT as very strategic. And this is, of course, you will find a lot of reforms, a lot of regulations, a lot of laws, like Startup Act law, which we talked about, like facilities for this sector. We worked also on data protection laws. For this sector, we are the only sector, I think, in Tunisia to have made a real private-public dialogue and private-public strategy. We did it together since now 7 years, and Sami knows about that very well. So we made together, private and public, a common strategy for digital economy, for developing this this strategy. We made a high council of strategic digital economy, so chaired by the chief of government, and where we have private and public representatives. So there is a very important dynamism in this sector, and the ecosystem is composed, as I said, of small and medium and big companies working on ICT, working not only in Tunisia, but more and more, and a lot are working in all the region of Africa, of Middle East, of Maghreb, and of Europe. We are even investing in Europe. A lot of Tunisian companies are investing in France, in some even in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. So this sector is today really very active, dynamic, and is we are no more. I would like to say that we are no more just an offshore country for ICT. We, of course, we have made, and we made still a lot of offshoring, of subcontracting, I would say, coding or developing. But today we have a real industry of ICT. This industry of ICT, so I said about mid companies or big companies, but also startups. So this industry, in this industry, we have companies specialized by business sector. So we will find companies working on healthcare, on fintech, on manufacturing and industry 4.0, for example, on retail, on banking and finance, of course. So these companies are more and more specialized by business, and it's very important. I think Austrian companies present here knows what about we are speaking about. So digital is made for business sectors, and it's important to have these business skills also. Secondly, also these companies are specialized by technology, of course, by ICT technology or ICT, I'd say subsector. So you find those who work on infrastructure, on cloud, who are on the artificial intelligence or solution management, ERPs, and etc. On web platform. We have all this cartography and of companies or startups working by specialties. And I'm saying this because it's important for Austrian companies to know that they can also find their potential partner in Tunisia as companies or as startups to work with. And working with these companies in Tunisia or investing directly as Austrian companies in Tunisia to make this, as I said, to its site or expertise site or expertise center can be used for two, I think, for two things, or it can be gradually or at the same time. It can be used, so as I said, to make remote developments in these sites, to have skills and resources based in Tunis to work for your company in Austria, but also it can be used to have not only technicals but also functional resources and working on your solutions and implementing your solutions in Africa, in the Middle East, or everywhere in other regions. Of course, with this advantages to have competitive costs for that. And what I'm saying also, of course, is already done by a lot of companies, European companies, a lot of French companies, for example, where they have this site in Tunisia to make these two things to develop for them, for the headquarters or either, and also to use these resources, and especially functional resources, to implement their solutions or their business in regions like Africa. And so this is why we're always saying that Tunisia can be a bridge for Africa or for Middle East also. We have, of course, and I will finish with that, and a lot of, I think Her Excellency said also that I think we have this multicultural mindset, which is really very, very important and very real. We can, as Tunisian, we can work very well with sub-Saharan Africans. They like to work and to deal with Tunisians. Very modestly, we can confirm this, and they like more to deal with Tunisians than with others. We can and we know how to deal with Algerians, with Moroccans, with Libyans, but also with Georgians and Saudians, some Middle East. And we know how to deal with French or with Germans or with, I think, and I hope, with Austrians, and also with the Netherlands and English companies and partners. I think this is what I can say. A lot of things also to add, but I think it's enough to make to show how how and especially why you can, and it will be very important to deal with Tunisia and to invest in Tunisia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salami. And allow me to say 26 years before, I was a young engineer working for Siemens. And part of our software, we were working for the German Telecom in a huge project. And part of the software was delivered by technician and IT specialist in Bangalore, in India. Well, 26 years after that, and during the pandemic, I think the majority of the people, not only in the ICT sector, but also in other branches and areas, turned and escaped to such way like we are using today, which is Zoom and online meetings and also online interaction. And when it's come to the ICT, there are channels that can be opened in electronic ways, and you can transfer or software or work you are codes you are doing in this topic, and therefore the world is open for it, and more after the pandemic in this regard. And I think the ICT branch is flourishing, was flourishing and is flourishing in this time because of the pandemic, and also the the change of things, of the minds of the people trying to get everything online. Thank you very much, Mr. Selami, and let us move to our next speaker, which is Mrs. Saida Kahuli, and allow me to thank her and FIPA for the wonderful preparation to the last minutes. We have changes of speakers. I've just received the latest change while we are talking today. So many thanks, Saida, for your effort, and the floor is yours. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Khuja. Good morning, everyone. Dear Excellencies and distinguished speakers and participants. I'm very pleased to take part today in this virtual conference on Tunisia and Austria promoting business and investment cooperation in high-value activities in the electronic and IT sectors. I would like to thank you very much, the Embassy of the Republic of Tunisia in Vienna and the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce for the good collaboration to organize this virtual economic forum. It's a good opportunity for us to present the potential of Tunisia as an attractive business destination. Just let me share with you my presentation. Do you can see the presentation?
Yes, very good. Go ahead, madam.
Yeah, I will, of course, present you today the business opportunities in Tunisia. My presentation will focus on three main parts. First of all, I will present the key figures of FDI in Tunisia. Then I will present the major assets of Tunisia and why Tunisia is an attractive investment destination. Then, of course, the main part is what are the business opportunities in Tunisia, and of course, I will finish by presenting the mission of FIPA Tunisia in Germany and Austria, and of course, and the main mission of FIPA. First of all, it's important to mention that Tunisia is a home of more than 3,700 foreign companies, and the majority of this company are wholly exporting to Europe, which is of course our major partner in terms of exportation, importation, investment and trade. These companies and international actors employ more than 500,000 people, and if we talk about the Tunisian and Austrian collaboration and economic cooperation, we have more than 20 Austrian companies that are operating in high-value activities, of course, in addition to the partnership and the other collaboration with the Tunisian companies and, of course, other activities. This, of course, Austria is an important and major partner of Tunisia, and of course, this event today will help us to develop the cooperation, and especially on the high value activities like electronic and IT sector. And I think that my colleagues have already given you a big and an important overview about the potential of IT sector. But of course, I will continue by presenting some of other opportunities related to high value activities. Of course, during 2020 and despite the pandemic and the international context with many issues and difficulties, Tunisia has the competitiveness to attract more foreign investment. For example, in 2020, it recorded more than 500 investment operations that created more than almost 10,000 direct jobs. And this continues in 2021. We recorded more than 400 investment operation that created more than 9,000 new jobs. And I think that this reflects the good resilience of Tunisia in this difficult context and pandemic. And of course, we are looking forward to improving this collaboration with our main strategic partner like Austria, Germany, and other European countries. Many international companies, as I mentioned, are operating in the country. And we have here some examples, of course, especially from Europe, from America, from Asia, but of course from Europe, especially from mechanical and electronic sectors, automotive components and IT sector, agribusiness, and many chemical industries. All these activities are represented and are already existing in the country. And this shows the trust that gives the international investor to Tunisia as an attractive investment destination and as a reliable investment destination. What makes Tunisia an attractive business and investment destination? Of course, it's important to know that, and as I think that you know all, that Tunisia has a strategic and geostrategic position, and it's considered as a gateway to Europe and sub-Saharan Africa, and it's a platform to Africa. Of course, Tunisia is first of all a platform for exportation and production to Europe, but in addition to that, in the same time, Tunisia is well connected to Africa and to African markets, of course, through many trade agreements, and of course, connected also to Europe with the main trade agreements, with a deep and comprehensive trade agreement with the European Union. And in addition to that, Tunisia is a member of the COMESA, a common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, with more 600 million consumer. And Tunisia is in ongoing discussion to join the economic community of West African states. Tunisia is also and officially integrated in the AFCFTA in July 2020. And of course, in addition to that, we have many regional and international integration, including 52 agreements on double taxation and 54 bilateral agreements to promote and protect investments. Second point, why Tunisia is considered as an attractive investment and business destination is Tunisia is a pool of international level of talents. And of course, it's already mentioned by my colleague from, of course, Utica and from the Ministry of Communication Technologies. But of course, it's important to focus on that because it's very important to international investor and Austrian companies to know that there is many opportunities thanks to the new graduates that are, of course, available every year. And we have, as of course, statistics, we have more than 65,000 new graduates per year. And we have about 1,200 vocational training institutions in more than 370 specialties. And as a ranking, Tunisia is ranked as the greatest, has the greatest concentration of research among the Arab countries. It's, of course, according to the Bloomberg Innovation Index. Of course, with the high-skilled human resources and engineering every year, Tunisia offers a very good competitive and competitive costs, especially related to ICT sectors, but also to high-value activities in mechanical, electronics, research and development, and also in services. Of course, this is comparing to the other neighboring countries or East European countries. Of course, this graphics shows the comparison between Tunisia and these countries and how Tunisia is ranked first in terms of software, the costs of software development engineer and the research development, for example, leaders. So, of course, it's important also to talk about the infrastructure, which is, of course, available to international standards. Related to ICT sector, we have many oriented technopoles. We have also cyber parks and competitive clusters that are available for international investors and Austrian companies to invest in. They host, of course, they hosted already many investor and international companies and of course innovative startups that are, of course, working for the local markets and also for the local market and also for the international markets. And in addition to that, just as ranking, Tunisia is the first country in Africa for the quality of the communication and technology infrastructure. Of course, this is according to the Bloomberg Innovation Index. So one of the main important points that that of course attracts investors is the business environment, and Tunisia offers a friendly business environment. Of course, through the investment law 2016, which guarantees the freedom of investment in the majority of sectors, the freedom to transfer profits and capital gains. It guarantees also simplified procedure of implementation, of course, with the many and several facilitation services offered by all the institutions related to the investment, like FIPA and like TIA and all the institutions related to, of course, investment, international investment, and of course, national investment. The investment law also guarantees the intellectual properties protection and is to import and export with simplified customs procedure. So it's important also to mention that, of course, in addition to these facilitation services, of course, the investment law guarantees many substantial incentives. Of course, these incentives are related to, of course, the type of sector which is the company invests in. For example, the law offers investment grant for 18 priority sector. Of course, and in addition to that, the law offers investment grant according to the regional and to the location of the company. Of course, these investment grants also are based on the amount, of course, on the cost of investment. We have also investment grant based on the job creation and in regional developments contribution. We have also the investment grants to the international or projects of national interests, which create more than 500, for example, jobs. And of course, the international companies can also hire foreign managerial staff with, of course, the limit of course, 30%, or of course, a number of in the total number of the managerial staff. So I finished by to talk about especially the major assets and why Tunisia is considered as an attractive investment destination. I will now focus on what are the main business opportunities that we can offer to international investors. Especially, we have, of course, the sector that, of course, as we are today focusing on high value activities. I will talk about the mechanical, electrical, and electronic industries, and which are, of course, offering many opportunities. And here the sector is considered as the first exporting sector in Tunisia, and Tunisia is the first the 70th supplier of European Union for electrical machinery. And I think that, of course, later on, my colleague from Tunisia Exports Apex will give you more information about the exportation and importation and the economic cooperation with Austria and with the European Union. And to finish, Tunisia is in third producer of automotive components in Africa. That's why, just to give you a small overview about the sector, it's very important to mention that, because many electronics components are, of course, related to automotive sector and automotive industry. And if you can see here that Tunisia is, or the actors in Tunisia as engaged in a fundamental transformation, of course, in the electrical mobility and connected mobility, and especially because now the use of the importance that, of course, the majority of European countries focusing on the use of electrical vehicle and electrical and e-mobility. For ICT sector, I think that you have already a good overview about it. But of course, I would like to add that, of course, many business opportunities are offered by the sector. And of course, not only investment, but also cooperation and partnership with between European companies and Tunisian companies, especially Austrian companies that can have partnership with Tunisian companies. And of course, the ecosystem is very developed, and many Tunisian local companies and startups are, of course, operating in high value activities, and some of them are already operating for international market. And the government offers a whole legal framework on the legal incentives, etc., for the sector, as it's considered as a priority sector. And of course, the majority of the, just to add the majority of the companies and the actors in the digital industry are fully engaged in emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, augmented reality, virtual reality, and blockchain. And of course, many international companies and Tunisian and local companies, 100% Tunisian companies, are already operating in this kind of activity and these high value activities. And I think it's a good signal and a positive signal that we can give to international companies that even the local market is very competitive in terms of course, many companies are investing and operating in the local market with 100% Tunisian skills and capacities. Just to finish about, of course, Tunisia, in addition to all these assets and opportunities, Tunisia offers a pleasant environment in which, of course, we have a good educational system and developed healthcare services and a good cultural heritage, and of course a good ease of doing business, and Tunisia is one of the least expensive cost of living, and that this is of course should be combined to the other opportunities to give you on to give of course the positive signal and to attract more international companies, and especially Austrian companies. And that's why today we are looking forward to improving this collaboration. And of course, through investment, through business, through partnership and cooperation between Tunisian and, of course, Austrian companies or institutions. And to finish, just of course, it's important to mention that, of course, today, as I'm representing, of course, FIPA Invest in Tunisia, and our of course agency is supporting international investors to implement or to of course in their expansion plans in the country. And of course we are offering several services, and we are providing information, contact, advice, and assistance, and of course support and aftercare to international companies. Of course, we give information on investment opportunities in Tunisia, why Tunisia is an attractive business destination. Of course, we look forward to giving the best of course, offer to the international investors, and they are looking for expanding their activities in Tunisia. And of course, we advise them on the appropriate condition of the success of projects. And even after the implementation, we offer service facilitation services and aftercare services, of course, to support them in the expansion plan, of course, in the country. This is, of course, our main mission. Of course, we have several offices abroad. Our office in Germany is also covering Austria, and of course, this today is a good opportunity to collaborate, of course, with the Austrian Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce and other institutions. And of course, I think this is the first step of collaboration. This is our services, and we are looking forward, of course, to collaborate with you more and more in the future. And of course, we are at your disposal. And of course, we are offering our services to Austrian company, which are looking for expanding their activity in country, and of course, looking for information about business opportunities in Tunisia. I'm at your disposal. I will share with you, of course, my presentation and my email in the chat box. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, Sister Saida, and many thanks also for the indication about the competitive costs of the ICT engineers and technicians in Tunisia, which is really should let companies and people wake up to have the interaction with Tunisia. And also the list and logos of the industries. And allow me to say one small thing. It's wonderful presentation. And since my president, Dr. Richard Schenz, used to be the CEO of OMV, and my vice president, Maria Mittermeier, is now senior vice president of OMV, I have to say, please indicate the logo of OMV within the industrial landscape that you are presented, because they have a major industry in the oil business. This is not only a short indication from my side. Please, it's a, you know, it's an Austrian wish, if we may wish this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your amazing support within this event and preparing the speaker together with the embassy of the Republic of Tunisia. Allow me to go to the next speaker, which is a lady, and it will be Mrs. Urida Shalawati, if I spell it correct, Director and Industrial and Technological Infrastructure, the Tunisian Ministry of Industry. Mrs. Horida, the floor is yours, please. Let's try to get the speaker. No. Gallery. Okay, just. Mrs. Horida, we don't hear you, unfortunately.
You hear me well now?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Khouja, for this opportunity. Thank you. I want to thank, first of all, Excellency Ambassador will present with us, Excellency Representative of Austria Embassy in Tunisia, representative of Embassy of Republic of Tunisia in Vienna, representative of the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce, Tunisian Foreign Investment Promotion Agency. Dear participant, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. I want to thank you very much to give us this opportunity to participate in this important forum and give us the opportunity to present for you the Industrial and Innovation Strategy 2035, and to together all partner about this important theme, which is investment in Tunisia, promoting business. Let me share my presentation, but I need to allow me to share my presentation because I can't.
Go ahead, madam. Now it's allowed to.
It's allowed. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, it's
yes.
okay.
Now it's.
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you, madam, if you just go to the presentation mode, is it on? Presentation mode.
Yes, I think, yes.
Okay, go ahead, madam. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. My presentation, it be about the Tunisian Industrial and Innovation Strategy in Horizon 2035. I will give this presentation on behalf of Madame Nada Lashal, our General Director, because of some another engagement. The content of my presentation will be, I will present first time the framework and the challenges of this strategy, the Tunisian industrial sector structure, maybe some Tunisian were already present the industrial sector, a strategy and this strategy and the action plan, and the implementation of this strategy and action plan, mainly how we will set up this strategy, the governance and the instruments. And this strategy was made with the financial of Bad Bank. We just completed it, and we have noted two major challenges for the Tunisian economy. The first one is to boost economic growth with the aim of improving the standards of living of the population, increasing employment, and reducing the development gap between Tunisian region. The first challenge is to improve the competitiveness of companies based on innovation and new technologies, as well as to develop their presence on foreign markets and to facilitate mainly the access of new markets and to avoid technical barrier of trade, while moving towards a clean environment economy based on renewable energy sources. And in this case, we work on green economy, blue economy, circular economy, renewable energy, etc. We are fixed this themes are as strategic axes because we need to enhance the competitiveness of Tunisian companies and to avoid technical barrier of trade. On this basis, the Ministry of Industry, Mines and Energy has determined the guidelines for the development of the industrial and innovation strategy for 2035. For the structure of industrial sector is made up of very small enterprises and medium enterprises with low innovation capacity. About 55%, excuse me, about 95 of companies are on limited size, less than 10 employees. Tunisian industrial sector, we have about 84,283,000 companies in total, with about 771 to 32 employment. We have a lot of companies less than 10 employees. We have only 5,345 are with a workforce equal or greater than 10 employees, of which 44% are exporters. The promising industrial sector, we have identified many promising sectors in this strategy. The first one is electrical and electronic industry is the theme about this forum. The segment of this field is electrical distribution and control equipment, component for electronic devices.
Rida, can you,
yes.
Do you want to move with the presentation, or is it just the first page you would like to show? Because we do have only the first page on our screen.
No, I'm moving the slides, but I don't know because now I'm the slides 5.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for
I will try again.
Yeah.
I will try again. I'm in the first, second.
Oh.
Now it's not moving.
It's not moving.
Sorry.
Screen and then use the tab.
Yeah.
Maybe
the arrow down and up.
Yeah. You have.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
I
you have
will.
it. Now you have it. Now you have it.
Okay. Just if I put the full screen. No?
Yeah. Well, we are not seeing the full screen in our screen, but it's fine. It's fine with us. If we have just the screen that you are elaborating in, then it's fine with us. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, madam.
Okay. Just I'm here.
If I may, just shortly. Sorry, you can just click F5, then it will show the whole presentation.
Okay.
Maybe this is working better.
Okay. F5. It's okay. I will move the slides. It's clear for you, or I am in full screen in slide 3.
Now we have 5, page number 5.
This page. Yeah. If I move to 6, it's clear. Now.
Just go on 6 and click on it with your mouse.
Okay. Yeah, but no.
Okay.
It's moving or not?
Now it's moving. Yes, now it's moving.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's okay in this case. Not full screen. It's clear for you?
Well, it's fine. We can see and follow you on the screen. That's okay.
Okay, I will try to put zoom. Okay. Okay. It's okay. The promising industrial sector. The first one is electrical and electronic industry. In this sector, we have many segments like electrical distribution and control equipment, equipment for electronic devices, medical devices, domestic appliance and household appliance, fiber optic, electrical and electronic components, etc. The second one, mechanical and metallurgic industry. We have about 635 companies in this sector, and as segments we have cast iron parts, mechatronics, precision and engineering, waste recycling, mechanical and metallurgic products. The third one is textile and garment industry, and we have about 1,487 companies. The fourth one is the food industry. We have about 1,082 companies. We have as segments olive oil, fresh and dried dates, fast industry products, sugar and sweets, aromatic and medicinal plants. We have also identified the chemical and pharmaceutical industry as promising sector. We have about 500 companies in cosmetic and personal care products, ethylene polymer films, medication papers, etc. And leather and footwear industry, we have about 245 companies in footwear and component parts, leather goods, etc. And the other promising sector is building materials, ceramic and glass industry. We have about 414 in mainly in technical ceramic, eco material, etc. We have also another sector is related to information and communication technology services. We have technical services for companies, engineering, like training, consultation, expertise, etc. Within this strategy, we have considered many strategies of Tunisia and mainly of industrial sector. We have identified the industrial sector as an active private sector, dynamic, open entrepreneur, manufacturers familiar with partnership and international market. We have a strategic geographic position between two continents, Africa and Europe. We have a good competitiveness, human resources. We have also the ability to adapt and react to technological development. Like, for example, now we are moving or translation the industry for green, for industry 4.0, etc. We have an advantage production cost and short delivery times. Also, we have ability to position our sector in industry with high value added and more advanced technology complexity. The industrial sector is rich and experienced support ecosystem. We have a coherent ecosystem. We have an industrial infrastructure like industrial areas, new industrial areas with the new technologies, with green industrial, clean industrial areas. We have technopole, we have technical centers, we have a good quality infrastructure in Tunisia. We just harmonized our quality infrastructure with the European Union context, harmonized norms and certification procedure, etc. The opportunities also about our industrial sector. We have, as mentioned, geo-economic location for trade and for foreign investment. We have a globalization of the company and value chain, growing of European markets, mainly for textile industry and manufacturing SMEs. We have also growing demand from African market for quality industrial products and process assistance training, etc. Some convention about quality infrastructure with some African countries. Also, the geographic and cultural proximity to the European Union and Africa, quality costs of the human resources, international research and innovation programs also we worked on very well. We have also many possibilities for enhancement of local resources and development of the domestic market, mainly greater vertical integration of existing activities, a reconcept of certain segments of the domestic market, revival and generation of industrial fabric. In the context of the elaboration of our strategy, mainly after COVID-19 crisis, we identified some challenges to enhance the industrial economy and to enhance competitiveness, productivity, to facilitate access to the market. We worked on industrial redeployment. I mean, position as a stable and local investment hub, clearly identify the industrial needs for European and regional industrial markets. We worked on regionalization, reposition with geopolitical fragmentation, adapt our structure of trade agreements and their tariffal levels, etc. And we worked on also ecological transition and environment aspects related to environment, because actually because of COP27 and the issues related to environment, we need to move to ecological approach processes for environment aspects. We have identified many action plans related to environment. We work this strategy in collaboration with Ministry of Environment. We need to benefit from the internal and European ecological transition. We need to successful energy transition, and we will participate in the global European and the global food transition. The last one is the digitalization, as mentioned with my Tunisian colleague. We need to accelerate the national digital transition. We need to create the condition for the development of digital economy. We worked on migration of our industry to an industry 4.0 to use artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and these tools to enhance the competitiveness and the productivity of industrial sector. In the phase of elaboration of our strategy, we done a benchmark with some countries which we have with them some similarities, like Portugal, Czech, Poland, Morocco, and Chile. Let me explain now the vision, the axis, and the level of our strategy. This new strategy is based on a vision of contributing to solid, inclusive, and sustainable growth throughout continuous adaptation to the needs of the country and international markets. Our vision is to have a competitive and technological advanced industry for solid, inclusive, and sustainable growth. The vision is we have three main objectives in our strategy: is to enhance the part of manufacturing industry in GDP. The second one, to accelerate growth and to promote exportation, mainly for manufacturing enterprises. and of course to create employment. We identified many levers. The lever one is to establish a favorable and attractive business environment to enhance investment, employment, and to promote exportation. The level B and C are about to encourage innovation, giving new impetus to the internalization of companies, deliver industry growth of in medium term. I mean, in horizon 2025. The level D is about developing real centers of excellence between 2025 and 2035, and to strengthen new vertical specialization. Level E is about the promotion of the position of Tunisia as a platform in many sectors or fields, like quality infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, technical infrastructure. Yes, yes,
we
please.
have to hurry up a little bit because
okay.
we run out
yes,
of time. Please.
Yeah, very noted. Thank you. Yes, I will move to the next. These slides are about the details of each level, and I will have the honor to share with you for more details about each level of our strategy. All these are detailed. We have also elaborate governance system and implementation of this strategy and action plan. We can share with you all details about this implementation and the details of action plan. In conclusion, we want to say to all present that Tunisia is investing in infrastructure and network to facilitate access to the market. We have relying in industrial sector, accelerate development, and Tunisia places innovation at the heart of its strategy to accelerate growth. And also we have a pool of skills, a large training offer, and invest in grey matter to offer the best talent. And we have the honor to participate in other events to explain more our each level of our strategy. And next week, 6 July, we will present to all stakeholders of the Ministry of Industry, Mines and Energy, for all foreign organization, international organization. You are invited to participate to this event to have more detail about our strategy. Thank you very much for your attention. And I already sent by email my presentation, and I will share my contact in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Orida, for this wonderful presentation. Because we are running out of time, allow me to jump to our next speaker, Mr. Muntasser Abdelrabbo, the Financial Director, representative of Elentica Electronic Cluster, presentation of the electronic industry in Tunisia. The floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored to be present at this event. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of electronic company. Our cluster created in 2017. This first Tunisian cluster electronic industry. We bring around 16 local and international manufacturers as the Flash, FIPA, Sagemcom, Tenet as well. I don't take much time. I would like to present our cluster with short film. You can give me share, excuse me.
Go ahead, sir. You have it.
Okay. Thank you.
We are Elentica. the Tunisian electronics cluster.
Mr. Muntasir, we don't
Our
see
mission is to put
film.
together.
What?
You just, we don't. Can you
electronics
please again
players.
share the share?
Share. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now I think yes. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Our Elentica.
It's good for you.
Yes, it's very good.
Okay.
The Tunisian electronics cluster. Our mission is to put together electronics players, create an electronics lobby, and boost business in the sector. Currently, we're 45 members who represent a turnover of more than 1.2 billion euros and employ over 15,000 people in Tunisia. 66% of them are female. We bring together more than 40 industrial companies with educational institutions and research laboratories. We look for the best research ideas to transform them into reality. In our laboratories, we test every single new product, such as waterproofing and frequency testing, to ensure high reliability and best quality. One of the success factors in Tunisia is certainly the presence of dynamic supplier near production. The competencies around PCB testing, ICT, as well as FCT are highly appreciated by customers. The accumulated experience over the last decade makes out of it an important competitiveness factor. In our cluster, we have more than 3,000 engineers from different fields: R&D, mechanics, electrics, IT. Thanks to our advanced core technologies and qualified skills, we can provide turnkey projects from the design phase to manufacturing and testing. We cover in between the whole value chain. We purchase components from all over the world and ensure full traceability of our incoming raw materials and products. We follow the lean approach and smart factory concept to optimize the monitoring during production and to guarantee the quality level of serial products. We have significant capacity of PCB assembly as we include plenty services providers. Our experience of more than 20 years in the development of electronic products, industrialization and production in the automotive, aeronautical and industrial sector allowed us to optimize the electronic design depending on series volumes, production environment, and types of products. We're much more than a production location. We give a huge importance to recycling according to international standards because a healthy environment is vital for us and the next generation. Tunisia is among the top 3 of the automotive components manufacturers in Africa and count hence to the main European Union suppliers. Ranked 43 in Bloomberg Innovation Index, Tunisia takes advantages from free trade agreement with United States of America, European Union, Turkey, and North Africa countries. We convey our goods directly to the customers all over the globe, thanks to a worldwide logistics system with regular air and sea links to the major economic centers. In another side, the Tunisian road network covers approximately 20,000 kilometers of paved roads and 640 kilometers of highways extending over the entire country. It links the main urban centers and potential development sites and provides great efficiency of transport services. Tunisia has huge advantages from its strategic locations to boost the export process. It offers the best combination of skills, quality, cost, delivery.
Thank you. Hello?
Thank you very much for the film. Do you have any additional words you would like to add?
Now you would like to make business with company Autriche. That's all.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Let's move to our next speaker, Mr. Imad Hfaid, Tunisian Export CIPEX, on behalf of the CEO, Mr. Murad bin Hussein. And we are delighted to have him, not only because he is presenting CIPEX, but he's presenting also a wonderful view to Tunis, which is Sidi Boussaid. Everybody who goes to Tunisia and Tunis has to visit this nice area. So allow me to present to you Mr. Imad Hfaid. Please.
Good morning. You are welcome every time to visit Tunisia. Thank you. Good morning, Excellencies, esteemed guests and participants from Austria and Tunisia. I am Imad Hfaid. I'm the head of the Market Research Department and Export Promotion Center, CIPEX. First of all, I want to send greetings and apologize from our CEO, Mr. Murad bin Hussein, who supposed to be with us, and that he still unfortunately had another urgent meetings still in the meetings. So it's a pleasure for us to be here with you for CIPEX, and for me to participate in this webinar in promoting business and investment cooperation in high value activities between Tunisia and Austria. Also, it's a meeting with aim to explore the ways to boost economic and commercial cooperation ties between our two countries. Let me share a small presentation with focusing on bilateral trade and business opportunity between Tunisia and Austria, and with a special scope on the mechanical, electrical and electronic industry. Is it okay?
Fine, very fine. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, just first of all, I will give you an overview of the Tunisian mechanical, electrical, and electronic industries. Second, we'll expose the bilateral business opportunities between Tunisia and Austria. Finally, I give you a small, brief presentation about the activity of CIPEX. So Tunisia is an export-oriented economy in which the sector of the mechanical, electrical, and electronic industry play a major role. As you can see, this sector accounts now for 46% of the country's export, followed by textile, apparel, and leather, 19%. Other manufacturing industry, such as plastic, pharmaceuticals, building materials, with a share of 12%. In the fourth position, the agribusiness sectors, 11%. Energy 6%, and finally phosphates and derivatives with 5%. Major figures of the sector of mechanical, electrical, and electronic industry. As I said, it's the first export sector in Tunisia with 46% of total exported good, with a value of more than 6.9 billion euro in 2021. Almost 1,000 companies, including 327 operating in electricity and electronics, of which 221 totally exporting units, and more than 230 companies in the sector of automotive components, including 134 are totally exporting, and 65 are specialized in aircraft industry. 61% of the sector products are exported to European Union, 30% to France. The main exported products are cables and cable harnesses, electronic assemblies, aeronautical and automotive components, electrical components, lighting materials, connectors, printed circuits, and a transformer. You can see that electrical and electronic accounts for 60% of total export of the sector. Tunisia is really well positioned in the European markets in lots of fields of activity. We are a second EU suppliers of automotive wiring sets with a value of 1.4 billion euro. We are third EU supplier of electric wires cables, including coaxial cables. Tunisia also is third EU suppliers of automotive oil filter. We are the first African suppliers to European Union. We are the 10th European suppliers for printed circuit boards, PCB, and the first African supplier. Tunisia also is the second African suppliers of automotive parts and accessories. What about bilateral trade between Tunisia and Austria? Austria is the Tunisian 31st biggest trade partner and 12th among the EU in 2021. Also, Austria is ranked 11th client of Tunisia, the 11th among the EU, and it's 35 suppliers, 14 in EU markets. Tunisia also is the 6th African supplier of Austria and its 7th customer. We are accounting for 3.1 of Austria trade with Africa. Total trade in goods between Tunisia and Austria in 2021 amounted to 568.7 million dinars, which is the equivalent of 172 million euro. As you can see, in 2021, bilateral trade show a growth of 33.9% compared to 2020. Tunisian export to Austria have decreased by 8.5 to reach 82 million euro. However, Tunisian imports grew by 18.5%, amounted to 90 million euro. Trade, as you can see here, trade flow register significant growth in for the first months of 2022. We register 12.6 in export and 14% in import. Our export to Austria is strongly dominated by mechanical and electrical industry, which account for almost 90% of export share. We are speaking about 70 million euro of export to Austria in mechanical and electrical products. Followed with the second sector is diversified industry, textile and clothing industry 4%, agro-food and industry 1%. For imports, we notice that about 40% of the share of mechanical and electric industry in the imports from Austria to Tunisia. Tunisia major export to Austria, including mainly automotive wiring sets and electric cables, 80% of share, followed by gas, liquid or electricity meters, almost 7%, glass fibers, 3%, etc. For imports, it's more diversified. Imports from Austria, we consist of wood, sawn 8.5, insulating fitting for electrical machines 8.1, food preparation 4.6, etc. But we are still really convinced that trade between Tunisia and Austria remain under our expectation, and the business opportunity exists for both sides. According to the analysis of the supply and demand potential of our two countries, there is untapped trade potential is estimated to 150 million euro. We can easily exceed 300 million euro of trade. We believe that the new trade opportunity has to be explored and developed. Tunisia and Austria have the opportunity to increase the value of trade and develop a win-win strategic partnership in many sectors. As you can see, is for example, a list of main products that have the great potential for to export to Austria. We are speaking about textile and clothing and footwear. Also agri-food and organic products. We mentioned olive oil and dates, automotive components, electronic equipment, renewable energy, ICT and technology. Other field of strategic cooperation, or this win-win strategic partnership, is to consider Tunisia as an African hub for Austrian companies. In fact, as you can see, and my colleague FIPA also speak about this, the strategic location of Tunisia in the heart of the Mediterranean. And we signed lots of trade agreement with more than 70 markets. These markets represent almost 1.3 billion consumers. I want to mention other field of cooperation and we have to strengthen triangular partnership towards Sub-Saharan Africa and Libya. As you see, Tunisia ascension in 2020 to the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, we are speaking about 600 million consumer, represent a great opportunity for Austria to consider Tunisia as a hub and the gateway to Africa and also Libya market by investing and co-producing in our country. I just give you an example here for how we can cooperate and how to benefit from this Tunisian agreement of COMESA. For example, an Austrian company exporting electrical wires or cable to one of the market of the COMESA. I mentioned Kenya, for example, which is the more important market. The Austrian company has to pay between 25% and 35% of custom duty. The same company can produce the same product totally or just with a value added of 35% in Tunisia and can export to the COMESA market or to Kenya, for example, in free access. Also, Tunisia company and Tunisia also propose skills, know-how and competitiveness for subcontracting for the Austrian partners in many fields as electronic assemblies, boards and final production integration, mechanical subset assembly, harnesses and cable assemblies, plastic parts, raw wireless cable and raw PCB can be provided within Tunisian company. Also, we can offer technical plastic injection for Austrian company. Finally, a few words about Tunisia Export, CEPEX. We are a state-owned institution operating under the Tunisian Ministry of Commerce and the Export Development, created in April 1973. Our objective is to promote the expansion of Tunisian export and increase international visibility of the made in Tunisia, of Tunisian export potential. Our mission is to support Tunisian exporter on the international market and assist foreign importers, organizing trade promotion events and arranging meeting between a potential partner and buyer. Really, we are ready to welcome any trade delegation from Austria, of Austrian businessmen, or organize any promotional event, whatever, in Tunisia or in Austria. And thank you for your attention.
Okay. Thank you again, Sidi Boussaid, in your pictures. Many thanks for the wonderful presentation. And it is an outstanding figures that you have presented to us. And we were just discussing the trade volume between Austria and Tunisia. And unfortunately, it's more than this, because some of the products we are producing in Austria, we are selling it through Germany and other European country as well. So by far we are more than 300 million in actual, but the figures shows that what you have shown, and this is very important.
Yes,
lots
of products are imported from other European countries. Right. Just I say that I give you the example of the dates. We are exporting dates for Austria, but the big share is coming from Germany for other markets. Repeat, the market that export Tunisian product to Austria.
Right. Correct.
We have to work to export directly to Austria.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Imad, for the wonderful presentation. Allow me to go to the two engineer Harad Blaya. He was in Tunisia, an Austrian technology evangelists from Ecoplast. This is Lower Austria Wirtschaftsagentur GmbH, which is the agency for promoting business in Lower Austria, and give him the floor to give us his testimonial. Mr. Blaya, the floor is yours. Bitte schön.
Yeah, thank you, Excellencies. Dear
Mr. Blaya, please
Yeah.
talk direct to the microphone because you are far from it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Is it better now?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, one moment. Okay. Oh, I do not change anything. So yeah, since 1.5 years, I'm connected to Tunisia via a EU project. The European Union project is from the cluster side. So I get a mentee, Mrs. Laila Zmanta from Novation City. She is a cluster manager from the mechatronic cluster in the region of Sousse. And in this, let's say, 1.5 years, I learned a lot about Tunisia, what I never expected before. Because before I expected, or I know about Tunisia, it's let's say, a land, a country to spend the holiday there. And I had no idea about let's say, the power of engineering and also of industry and the existing and well-performing companies there. And in May from 9 to 13, I visited my mentee Laila, and she prepared a very impressive company tour. And also many thanks to Franz and Sami, because they add something. So we celebrate with our ambassador a meeting and also a business breakfast. And what I can say as an engineer, there is a lot of possibilities for cooperation. The hurdle to start it is how we can start it. Because in my cluster membership area, we have also 95% small and, let's say, small companies with less than 50 employees. And the target of cluster is help them to increase their innovation dynamic. And how we do this, we take knowledge from university and research centers, and via cooperation projects, where the companies are invited, we transfer the knowledge to value in the companies. So this is our main target. And I tried to train Laila Zmanta to copy this. Assume companies in the mechatronic cluster around Sousse, choose a topic, it's equal which topic, find a university, professors, researchers, and make out from knowledge value in the companies who are in the cluster. This maybe works in Austria because I had 18 years experience in build up this cooperation projects. But I talked to a lot of companies and in Tunisia, and they are not able for cooperation because they do their businesses. They have business enough, they have business opportunities enough. And so there is a big difference in culture in clusters, Austria and Tunisia. But what I can say now is I saw the possibility of cooperation cross-border to Tunisia. So I'm back since 6 weeks roundabout, or yeah, roundabout 6 weeks. And I talked to companies, and I talked also to university representatives like professors and researchers. And I try to convince them to have a look, special looks in some projects, what we build up now, also for cooperation in Tunisia. And we will see maybe in six, 9 months, have I success in this or not? But I have a good feeling, and also the answers of the companies and the researchers, they are interesting to go in contact. And to build up business needs one important, let's say, term. It's trust, and how you can gain trust between people. And in my experience, we have to work together, work on defined targets in cooperation, and spend also time together to learn each other better, and also in culture. And this is my summary about my mission. I have prepared a travel report, and if somebody is interested, everybody can have it. And in this travel report, I also describe some possible future things what will be happen. Okay, thank you for attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bleier, and we will spread, of course, your presentation upon request. And I have the first request by His Excellency, the Ambassador, who will have a look into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it was amazing forum where we and myself learned a lot. One thing I would like to say to your good self is that all presentations, films, and also the testimonial of Mr. Bleier will be available to you, and we will spread it and also publish links in our webpage. Allow me to say to you, like some of the speakers say, Tunisia is not only a country of history, a country that you can make tourism in. You have a wonderful olive oil or fish dishes or other nice things in Tunisia when it's come to food and beverage, but also when it's come to the technology. We have amazing pulsing young people working for the technology engineers, and also providing their know-how. And there is a big demand in Europe for such human resources. And again, IT, ICT doesn't need a physical presence. It could be undertaken on the online. Thank you very much. I would like to thank all speakers, Mr. Bleier, and all speakers from Tunisia. Special thanks to Mrs. Saida Kahouli, FIPA Tunisia, and of course, Mr. Franz Bachleitner, who is taking the economical flag in the region, and especially in Tunisia. Also a warm thanks to Her Excellency Ulla Kraus-Nussbaumer, our ambassador to Tunisia. And of course, on top of the top, our dear brother and His Excellency Ambassador Mohammed Misghani and his team for the amazing preparation work together with the FIPA and all participants. We will see each other in next time, and allow me to say to you, our next event will be in September, hosting all Austrian ambassadors to the Arab countries, together with the Arab ambassador. This is a close event of the chamber. in the Diplomatic Academy, and we will chat about the Arab region and countries. The next one will be at the beginning of October this year, where we'll host the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with a big delegation from there. And the chamber stays to your service, together with our colleagues from the Wirtschaftskammer Österreich, the Federal Economical Chamber of Austria and their Advantage Austria. The foreign department of it stays at your disposal for any needs. Thank you very much being with us. Do you want to say anything, Excellency, or it's fine?
It's fine, but very briefly, I would like to reiterate my thanks for all participants, and I will like also to comment their very interesting contribution. My thanks goes also for you, dear Muad, for your able management of this meeting. If I made the conclusion, the main idea that emerged from our meeting today is that there is a lot of opportunities to seize. And it's up to us to make these opportunities a reality. I would like also to underline that my country, Tunisia, is now under reconstruction in all levels. It makes some feeling of no stability. But this reconstruction of Tunisia, it is for a better future. Thank you again for your contribution, and I hope we will see for another opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.